is so much easier and so much better for your life when you find a balance that allows you to be able to enjoy the holidays and not feel like you have to give up your quote unquote healthier lifestyle for you to be able to enjoy the foods that you love. And actually, the mindset behind most people deciding that they don't want to stick to their healthier eating during the holidays is usually the same reason that keeps people in diet cycles and not having that health success that they really want. Welcome to Undiet with Dani. I'm your host, Dani Taylor, here to empower women just like you to create healthier, happier lifestyles that they love without food restrictions and diets. This weekly conversation will help you eliminate the noise so you can finally create the health, body, and lifestyle of your dreams. Have you been struggling to consistently create healthier habits, feel good in your body, and continue to eat foods that you love? Well, I'm about to help you do exactly that. Go ahead and subscribe because this is about to get good. Let's get into it. So I've been having a lot of different conversations and seeing a lot of different posts on social media about people excited about the holidays. Everybody's talking about what they're making, what they're ready to eat, all kinds of different things. But one of the things that I'm actually sad that I've been seeing so much of is so many different women are planning to sabotage their health goals. Like already planning to overeat, already planning to ditch all things healthy eating, and they're already ready to start again on Monday, like preparing to get off the wagon. And I'm sad to see that because it's so much easier and so much better for your life when you find a balance that allows you to be able to enjoy the holidays and not feel like you have to give up your quote unquote healthier lifestyle for you to be able to enjoy the foods that you love. And actually, the mindset behind most people deciding that they don't want to stick to their healthier eating during the holidays is usually the same reason that keeps people in diet cycles and not having that health success that they really want. I don't want that to be you. I don't want you to be like the women out here who are voluntarily giving up their progress that they've made in their health all for food, because you don't have to trade one for the other. That is what we're going to talk about here today. I decided to do this 2-part holiday health tips series because I want you to be very clear that you, for one, can enjoy the holidays and still live a healthier lifestyle. But for two, it can be easy for you. And all you have to do is have clarity around how to do that in a way that supports your goals. So that's what I'm breaking down here today. I'm about to break down 3 effective ways to enjoy the holidays without food restrictions or frustration. Y'all know the frustration that comes after you said before you left the house that you were going to have a little bit of mac and cheese, a little bit of yams, right? You said you were going to have a little bit of dressing. Side note, we had a whole argument on Facebook about dressing and stuffing. Let me know, where are you from in the world and what do you call it? Do you call it stuffing? Do you call it dressing? Just let me know what you call it, okay? But back to the topic at hand. So you know that frustration that comes after you say that you're going to eat only a little bit and then you find yourself overeating, or you find yourself giving into those plate pushers who are trying to encourage you to try their thing, right? So that used to be one of my biggest downfalls when it came to holiday gatherings. I ate all of the things. I always overate every single time. I would end up stuffed, bloated, physically uncomfortable, and sometimes that lasted for days on end because TMI alert, constipation after you eat all the things at Thanksgiving is real, okay? So for me, that was my reality all the way up until about 2015, 2016. That was my reality. I always overate. I was constantly frustrated. I didn't even feel comfortable around food most of the time because I felt like I couldn't have some of the things that I wanted to have, or I was going to overeat and it was going to make me uncomfortable. It was one extreme or the next extreme, right? And I was like many of you who believe that if I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle, that I have to give up all of these delicious foods that I love. I believed that for a long time. And that's what kept me from moving forward and creating a healthier lifestyle, because it was like, all of this stuff is just so much information. It's complicated. And I went to school for nutrition. So let's just put that out there. When I was in school getting my degree in athletic training, the nutrition classes that I took, those same nutrition courses, right? Those are the courses that I referred back to when it came to me creating the healthier lifestyle that I wanted to have. And I was still confused. I was like, this is too much information. How do I know what's right? What diet is going to be the best diet for me? I did all of the things. And what I realized is if I was really going to make this something that I was able to stick to, it was going to have to be something that felt good for me. It was going to have to be something that I loved, something that came second nature to me. And depriving myself of food, especially the mac and cheese, especially the collard greens, and especially the stuffing, right? Depriving myself of all of those things did not feel like something that I wanted to give into for Thanksgiving holiday or any other holiday. I wanted to be able to make my choices. I wanted it to be on me whether or not I decided to have those things. I didn't want to live in someone else's food rules. And so that's what led me down the Undiet Life trail, how we all ended up here, and what led me to these 3 tips I'm about to give you to help you start to create that space for yourself where you know that you have the balance and the confidence and the discipline to be able to, and the freedom to be able to create the health and happiness that you want to have in your relationship with food. Okay. So let's get real deep into what it's going to take for you to create healthier eating habits around the holidays that allow you to still enjoy them. Okay. So step one is plan ahead. One of the biggest mistakes you can make around food during the holidays is deciding that you are going to plan when you get there what it is that you're going to have. Especially if you're somebody who is just now getting into, or you haven't quite been maybe a year into mindful eating, you absolutely do not want to put yourself in a position to be experiencing food with all of your senses and making food decisions. That's not the best pace for you to make a powerful decision about your food. The best space for you to make a powerful decision about your food is in the space where you're clear-minded and that food is not physically in your presence yet. Okay. So right now would be the best time for you to go ahead and decide, how do I want to eat? Like, what is okay for me? What do I believe is acceptable for me to have? What are my permissions? Do I give myself permission to have dessert? Do I give myself permission to have only a certain type of dessert? Go back to some of the things that have happened to you in the past. Like for me, all of the bloating and things that felt physically uncomfortable, I always knew what that came from. And it was those second and third plates. But, you know, we keeping it honest. So be mindful about what those things are for you that lead you in a direction that doesn't feel like the direction you want to be in when it comes to your end goal. For me, I do not like feeling physically uncomfortable in my body. Me overeating is something that really sends me the wrong way. Okay. So I understand that, and I understand that certain eating habits drive me to do that. So I'm very clear on my permissions that I'm not available to do the things that don't lead me in a way of feeling good in my body. Right. So get very clear about your permissions. Get very clear about what it is that you feel like is going to be the best thing for you to do based on things that you already know from the past. Right. Don't disregard those experiences. Everything wasn't a failure. Some of those things were lessons to help you get to what's really going to be best for you, right? So look in your past experiences and get some of those things that you know just don't work for you, right? And then work your permissions from there. Be very mindful if you are just getting into this space. Allow some space for you to mess up, okay? Allow some space for you to kind of not know and for you to make some adjustments later. But as you step into this, be very clear about what you feel comfortable doing. Also, while you are making those permissions, be mindful about why you're making those permissions, okay? Why are you allowing those things for yourself, especially if it is anything that goes against your goals of how you want to feel physically in your body and also the relationship that you have with food. For example, some people like to slide into their permissions to have foods that physically make them uncomfortable. And I encourage you to look into why that is something that you might do for yourself. Hopefully not. But if it is, definitely look into that. Go a little bit deeper so we can figure out what your story is around that particular relationship. So number two is show up for the people, not the food. I know you're probably thinking it's Thanksgiving, Dani, you're tripping, right? I get it. Everybody goes to Thanksgiving dinner for the food. However, if you are somebody who is stepping into mindful eating, you're somebody who's stepping into having a peaceful relationship with food, and you're stepping into understanding your food freedom, you want to decrease your awareness to food. And one of the best ways to do that is show up for the people or the gathering or the experience and not necessarily the food itself. So it's completely okay for you to say, I want to have X, Y, and Z. Mac and cheese, whatever it is. I keep saying mac and cheese because y'all know I'm ready. But you want to be very clear about not putting yourself in a position to be hyper aware to food. Okay. So in any situation that you know of for yourself, if you know that one particular food you're ready for, like auntie's cabbage, greens, whatever it is, pecan pie, whatever it is, you know that thing is something that you love. It's okay for you to say, I'm going to have that thing. Add that into your permissions, okay? But also add into your permissions and add into your agenda that you are going to experience the people and the gathering itself while you're there too. And you're actually going to step away from the food or the buffet table, whatever. So show up for the people, not the food. You really want to practice not being so hyper aware to food. And one of the best ways to do that is find something else that is going to be present in that experience for you to enjoy more or for you to pay specific attention to. Number three is eat on plates, not out of pots. This is for all my cookers, okay? All my cookers who are in the kitchen the whole time. You whipping it up. You're tasting this little piece there, making sure it tastes right for everybody else. Make sure you are eating on plates and not out of pots, because it is so easy for you to lose track of how much you're consuming when you are not paying attention to, or when you're not tracking it, right? And it's very easy to lose track of how many forks you put up to your mouth, okay? It's less likely that you will not know how many plates of food you've eaten. So that was part 1 of 3 effective ways to enjoy the holidays without food restrictions and frustration. I want you to join me inside of the Undiet Tribe and let me know under the post for this show. I want you to let me know which one of these tips was the most helpful tip for you. Which one of these are you going to add into your plan for going into the holidays so that you can enjoy the foods that you love? Absolutely let me know what that is for you under the post for this show. I appreciate you being here with me today, and I hope you come and join me tomorrow for part 2 of 3 effective ways to enjoy the holidays without food restrictions or frustration. I so appreciate you for tuning in to Undiet with Dani. I hope you heard something that was helpful today and you're already subscribed so you don't miss out on future episodes. I want to hear your feedback. I want to hear your takeaways and your next steps. So don't let the conversation end here. You're invited to join me inside of the Undiet Tribe. You can give your feedback on this episode, find tools to support your journey, ask questions, and get support with women working on similar goals, all inside of our private Facebook community. Join us by going to www.undiettribe.com. I can't wait to celebrate your progress. I'll see you inside of the tribe.